Hi, BB. Mr. Maddie's joining me today. Just so you all know, what a nice little BB. You love being on camera. Yeah. Ugh, yeah, I know.
It's tea time with Mary.
Hello, good morning. Welcome back, everyone, to Tea Parties on the Internet. I am your host, Miss Mary Lou, and it's so freaking fantastic to see your faces back on the Miss Mary Lou channel. Friends, today we are going to just sit down, have a chat, so grab your favorite cup of tea because we're talking about how making the effort to think more positively has really started to affect my life, and also some steps that you can take yourself to get there. Oh, Mr. Maddie, that's the camera lens, honey. Hi. Oh boy. You know when is not the time to move the camera? When I'm recording. Little rascal. Mwah. You good boy. Where was I? Things you can do to start on your own positivity journey, as well as how it started to change my everything. We are gonna have a cozy tea party talking about something that is really important to me. But before we move on with today's episode, if you are not subscribed to the Miss Mary Lou channel already, you are seriously missing out. Please hit the red subscribe button below and the little notification bell, so you know when I upload. My cat is now deciding to see if he can mess up the new fake plant. So obviously all of the tips, experiences, etc. are going to be from my personal experience about how I went from being a super cynical human to like much less so, dare I say, an optimist. Oh, but let's get into how you can do this for yourself. The first thing to do, it might seem obvious, but it can be more than you realize. And that is consciously make space in your brain. The fact that you're gonna be doing this, right? Because it's not so much a passive activity. This is a conscious choice. It's not like you're like, oh yeah, I guess I should probably maybe be more positive and then just not think about it ever again. You have to sit down with yourself, say, hey, I'm kind of maybe more negative and it's affecting me in ways where I am not particularly reaping benefits from it, and I think this is a thing that I need to do for myself. This is a change I want to make, so brain space, let's do this. And then once you've really decided that, you can kind of start to take steps and take yourself seriously. And next, of course, this isn't just going to be a thing that happens overnight, but a super important part is acknowledging when your brain starts to turn toward the downside instead of the upside. And by starting this step and just being aware, right? Being aware is huge because I know me, Miss like cynical, pessimist, whatever, I would just go down these negative thought cycles and not even really realize it was happening. And when that kind of chatter goes in the back of your brain for so long, it starts to become your inner dialogue, right? You just constantly have all these negative things about yourself and everything just buzzing in your brain, and it starts to define who you are, how you see things, and all of that stuff. So being able to take the step of just noticing. Don't be so hard on yourself. Goodness knows we are hard on ourselves enough already. Acknowledge it and be like, all right, so that's one way of looking at it. What is something I like about this situation, this person, my environment, whatever it is that you happen to be commenting on, especially yourself? Genuinely look for the sunshine. And if you can't see any, bask in that sunshine glory that you are at least aware of when this is happening to you. That is a huge win. Awareness is huge, okay? And then the last part of this puzzle that I hadn't really thought about it. Yes, of course, there's a ton more things you can do for yourself, but I'm just focusing on these three today. Talk about it with other people. Talk about it. Talk about a good thing you read online. Talk about how cute your freaking cat was today. Talk about something that you like in the person you're talking to. Talk about it in an online community. There's a lot of hate on Twitter, but I have specifically tailored my Twitter experience so that it's just people I think are super awesome, putting positivity into the world, and it makes it a nice place to be. Yeah, really online, I think, is a great place to practice. Let's put a little bit of light into the world kind of thing, or in your day-to-day life. Whether it's a roommate, a friend, your family members, a person at the grocery store who has the coolest shirt on, who you really dig their style, little pockets of positive support for yourself in your day-to-day life, whether it's online, and it should be in your actual person-to-person, face-to-face life. Talk about positive things. Say it out loud. Share it. Might inspire them to say something good to another person or to start a conversation about something that makes you both really happy. It's really a win-win situation. So, how has this started to really affect my life more specifically? For those of you that don't know, my fiance Jacob and I started a podcast back in October called Positivity, TEA, because And we have started to literally carve out time every single week to talk about positive things, even in regards to things that are a little harder, like mental health or something we're going through. Carving out that time with each other and then putting it into the universe for everybody has really changed our lives. And a lot of you have been messaging us saying how this podcast is starting to change the way you experience the world. You're doing the self-care experiments with us, and that is just amazing. Anyway, moving on. How has this started to affect my life? Well, I'm definitely a much more aware of when I am being negative, especially to myself. I talk about self-care, self-love, all of these things so much, and I put so much content about that into the world because it's something that I struggle with. But just being aware of exactly how much that this is happening in my head has really opened my eyes and really started to make a difference. It makes me a whole lot better at communicating about what's going on with me. Instead of sitting and dwelling, which I've done plenty of in my life, it just opens doors to be like, what can I do for myself about this? That's not me talking in my head. That's just my depression. I don't feel that way about that thing. Let's turn it around and think of something positive. And then from there, it's been keeping me a lot calmer, especially in social situations. I have a lot of social anxiety, which keeps me from going to a lot of things, or even if I do go to a social gathering, it creates a lot of anxiety. Changing that inner dialogue, noticing when it's turning towards not so fun things, and then making the conscious effort again. So freaking simple but powerful. And talking about better communication, more willing to put myself into social situations. It has strengthened my relationships with people so much because, again, just being able to be honest with myself about when I'm being a more negative individual, purposefully looking for more positive things. I leave coffee dates more uplifted instead of bogged down and tired. And I can see it in the other person that they are just so stoked to be spending time together. And who doesn't want to be a part of a relationship that really is benefiting both sides more than just letting out your frustrations, which of course is an important part too, but turning it around, making it something really wonderful and just honest, I am so all about this. Letting the other person know how much you appreciate them and their friendship. This is huge. And my close friends, I make the effort to tell them that I love them. And I am so happy that they're a part of my life. It just makes you feel so good. And on top of all of that, it has been long enough now that I've been making the conscious effort to do this. It's starting to change my default setting. I don't walk into situations immediately picking out all of the things that are making me nervous or scared or sad or angry or anything like that. Now I kind of walk into a situation and be like, oh, I like that. Oh, that's cool. Oh, yeah, you know what? That's super great. It's starting to change my default inner dialogue. Is it a perfect system? So, no. But I'm working on it, and again, just acknowledging when it's happening, being like, this isn't you, is so life-changing. I feel like I could talk about this for freaking ever, but this video is already probably long enough, so we should go to the outro. Is this a cure for things like mental illness, etc.? No. I have depression, anxiety, PTSD, all of these things, but I take medication for my depression and anxiety. I'm also in therapy, which is really awesome. Great tools to have in my back pocket. But these are things that you can do yourself in your day-to-day life to spark those little changes. We are at the end of May, which has been Mental Health Awareness Month. I've been trying to put out awesome content for you this month, like meditating and cozy hygge vibe, all the goodness, and of course, lots of tea. Thank you so much for joining me for this tea party today. I hope you've had a warm cuppa and have just been enjoying chat. I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Have you ever tried any of these things for yourself? Are you going to start? Of course, I guess I have to talk about, if you're looking for a way to kickstart it, Positivity, Good Vibes by the Spoonful. My podcast has been a really wonderful way, not just for Jacob and myself, but also our community, to really start making that brain space for themselves and creating it as a part of their weekly routine. I hope you all have a fantastic week, and last and most important of all, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you on Thursday for the podcast.
It's tea